All right, so this is mad crazy because apparently we got a first look at what potentially could be the very first post-Ye Adidas Yeezys. Plus, what's the real deal behind Ye's $20 Balenciaga line? And we're covering the latest streetwear as well as sneaker updates. What's going on, everybody? It's JA. We're gonna kick today's video off with the latest from Adidas basketball. So as I mentioned a couple weeks back, Adidas has major plans for Adidas basketball. They've already got stars like James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, as well as Dame Lillard signed, and they just kicked off the rollout for Adidas basketball with a short film titled Remember the Why. So the clips give you an introduction into Adidas basketball, and at the very end features an on-feet shot of the Adidas Crazy New Era. So when I first saw these joints, my very first impression was they look very similar to the OG Adidas Crazy One, which were Kobe Bryant's very first Adidas signature shoe. And that's what you're supposed to think, because this upcoming Adidas release was inspired by that retro model, but this time you have a more modern, sleek, updated look. So I gotta say that these joints definitely look good on feet, so be on the lookout for the Adidas Crazy New Era releasing sometime early 2023. So this past week, you had your final chance to take a L on one of the most hype releases of the year. So the Jordan 4 ImMon just dropped with a major sneaker zap release this past Wednesday. And as you can imagine, many L's were handed out. It seems like nowadays for these major sneaker app releases, everybody just enters the raffle even if they're not looking for the shoe. So if you happen to take an L on this release and you were really checking for these joints, you may want to go ahead and pay resale now, because this pair, of course, is in talk for sneaker of the year conversation. And if that's the case, I would expect these joints to continue to rise up in value on the secondary market after the holiday season. And speaking of hype Jordan releases, apparently customers are receiving moldy pairs of the Jordan 1 lost and found. And there are reports out there that Nike is canceling orders as well as telling retailers to send back defective pairs. So on top of this release being super difficult to cop, if you already received a moldy pair, you'll be happy to know that if you contact Nike customer service, they will be offering you 20% off your next purchase. So it's very unfortunate for everyone that received defective pairs, but I could see Nike definitely reversing the whole situation, and 10 years down the line reversing a Jordan 1 lost and found moldy edition. So I could see them definitely capitalizing off this and using this as some future storytelling to sell off one of their future renditions of the Jordan 1 Chicago. So we're gonna jump off the hype train momentarily to highlight some great releases which just went down last week from Crocs. So they just dropped 2 new colorways for their Echo Clog silhouette, which according to Crocs, the Echo Clogs are for those who want comfort without compromising their look. So 2 colorways, one in a white and a black featuring real tree camo. These joints have a new redesigned sole. So if you're looking to cop a comfortable pair of shoes that look good, these are still available on Crocs site at the time of this recording. So the DJ Khaled Jordan 5 We The Best, they're releasing tomorrow for Cyber Monday. So there's 4 colorways of this Jordan silhouette, but I believe 2 of them are releasing worldwide, while the other 2 will be just remaining as friends and family. So I'm not sure which audience is really checking for these joints, because unfortunately these just ain't it. But on the other hand, I gotta salute Khaled, because as y'all see, this man loves the Jordan brand so much that I believe he probably did this collab for absolutely free. So you gotta salute this man for his love and his passion for the Jordan brand. He even went as far as to recruit Lil Durk for a little promo ad for these joints. So they're dropping tomorrow. Let me know if any of y'all are checking for these joints. So Nike has released official images of the Air Jordan 2 Chicago, which will be releasing December 30th for a retail of $200. Now, the Retro 2 is an interesting silhouette because it's usually the odd man out and doesn't get as much love as some of the other OGs like the Jordan 1, the Jordan 3, 4, or even 5. So it does also feel like Jordan emphasized to really push these joints on us this year with major collabs like the Union LA collab as well as the Jordan J Balvin collab. But it does make sense because this is actually the 35th anniversary of the original release of the Jordan 2. So this will be the last Jordan retro release of the year. So the Cactus Plant Flea Market Nike CPFM Flea 1 Overgrown just released via CPFM's website, but expect a wider release on the Nike Sneakers app, which will officially be releasing November 29th. So these gotta be one of the craziest looking sneakers. These joints are definitely not for everybody, but I definitely love what CPFM is doing, and I'm really curious to see what these joints look like under all of that fur. All right, so let's shift gears over to New Balance, which just dropped 2 new dope versions of the Teddy Santis 990. So if you happen to miss out on that release, unfortunately, those pairs are selling way above retail on the secondary market. And in other bad news, it looks like the Jayhound New Balance 990 V3 Montreal is releasing exclusively in the city of Montreal, Canada. So images of this hype collab were teased previously, and upon further research, it looks like these pairs actually already dropped on the 25th. So Montreal customers did have to order their pairs online, and then they were able to pick them up in store. So for all of us located outside of the city, unfortunately, it looks like our only option is to hit the secondary market if we were looking to pick up the latest collab from Jayhound and New Balance. So here's a first look at the upcoming Stone Island New Balance 574. Now, Stone Island is a brand that I personally never really got into. I know it was hot like a few years back, but now I believe it's more of just a UK thing. So all of my people over in the UK, let me know what's going on with Stone Island. What I can tell y'all though about Stone Island is that the color palette, when you think of Stone Island, is what you would think of with this New Balance upcoming collab. So at the time of this recording, no further updates, but expect some updates for this upcoming collab in the near future. So fashion powerhouse Balenciaga is under fire after a recent ad campaign features children holding what appears to be BDSM teddy bears. So I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, like if I would have just looked at this ad, I probably wouldn't even have noticed, but the fact that y'all pointed out the BDSM theme on the teddy bears definitely gives me super creep vibes. And to make matters even worse, additionally, Twitter users called out promotional imagery from the brand's previous Adidas collaboration that included what looked like an excerpt from the 2008 US Supreme Court ruling United States versus Williams, which upheld penalties for the sexual exploitation of children and additional forms of child abuse. So this is super crazy. Balenciaga, they did issue an apology and have removed all of the imagery from any of their sites or social media. And apparently, if you dive even deeper into this whole wormhole, Balenciaga allegedly has used controversial and disturbing imagery like this in the past. So when it comes to children, there's really no room for artistic interpretation. This is just completely wrong. Balenciaga did do the right thing by issuing an apology, but we just hope to never see anything like this from any of the major fashion powerhouses moving forward. It's also important to note that the head at Gucci, Alessandro Michele, has left the brand after 8 years. Also noteworthy, Raph Simmons has ended his label after 27 years. So this is big moves in the fashion industry. These are veterans in the game. It's time for them to move on, and hopefully we can get some fresh and upcoming new designers to helm some of these past iconic brands. So it's been a busy week for Ye. He recently pulled up the Complex Con, which took place in LA. And although the mainstream media portrays that he is canceled, it didn't stop fans from showing support. They mobbed his security, and there's even a clip of Ye fighting through the security so that he could grab a photo with a fan. And although Complex Con is Complex's biggest event of the year, and Ye is undoubtedly one of the most polarizing figures in media, there is not one report from Complex or any other major outlet of this story. If it wasn't for fans recording their own videos, we would even have no knowledge of this whole situation. So while fans wait to hear the next big announcement from Ye, he did recently invite paparazzi to his Yeezy headquarters, where he acknowledged the fact that Adidas does plan to use his Yeezy designs moving forward. So he did acknowledge the fact that he stands behind the designs, and fans don't have to feel jaded. Y'all can buy the shoes that you like. He did also allude to the fact that he will be eating off the royalties from these sales. Although Adidas is playing hardball, Ye stated that they recently froze assets in his account. So it seems as though the mediation and court rulings will proceed, and this will be a long fought battle, but in the end, justice should prevail. So he also announced he will be running for president, and he gave us a little preview of some of his presidential campaign merch, which Ye stated himself that he bought every piece of Balenciaga he could find. So he went ahead and stamped his YE24 logo on top of it, and he stated that he will be selling these pieces for $20 to supporters. So I feel like this is the ultimate response. Ye is the troll of the year, and this is a direct response for Balenciaga stating that they would no longer be working with Ye moving forward, after he was one of the biggest influencers to bring the brand to the forefront of the fashion world. So apparently we got a first look at what could potentially be the very first post-Ye Adidas Yeezy release. So taking a look at this image, you will definitely notice that these joints look very similar to the 700 V3, but you'll also notice they have a totally different material, totally different design. It looks like these joints have just a single EVA unit, which extends from the sole up to the upper of the shoe. So based off of this look, it appears that Adidas is making Yeezys, but what appears to be a lesser quality, if that makes sense. So for me, these are a hard pass, but if they do plan to drop these, hopefully they'll retail no more than like $120, because these definitely look a lot cheaper than what we're used to when it comes to Yeezys. So I'm super curious to see how the public responds to these joints, because I feel like it's 50-50. Some people are saying boycott Adidas, like they're mad at what they did to Ye, while other people really said they don't care about Ye, they just want to buy dope sneakers. And if Adidas does plan to continue to release Yeezy designs, that they would like to see a lower MSRP price. So hopefully, based off the fact these look a lot cheaper in terms of quality, that, you know, people will be able to buy these at a reduced price. So speaking of Adidas, now historically, Black Friday was typically known to be, you know, a big time when it comes to sneaker releases. You know, the one that comes to mind is Black Friday of 2016, where Adidas and Yeezy dropped 3 different colors of the 350 V2 Black with various different color stripes. I remember copping the copper pair back in the day. So historically, Black Friday typically is always a big time for sneaker releases. So while Adidas didn't have a marquee release per se for this Black Friday, let's take a look at some of their hype releases that they dropped, you know, just over the past week. So we have the Kawasaki Ninja ZX22 Boost. So this colorway is silver metallic, and I know y'all been dying to get these. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about these joints. And they also dropped the Crazy One Snakeskin. These joints just dropped yesterday. As y'all know, I talked about the Crazy One earlier. This is Kobe's very first Adidas signature shoe. Now, the snakeskin joints, I'm not really sure if anybody asked for these. I feel like, being as that these are a retro Kobe model, most people would like to see them release OG colorways. So this is a very interesting situation to look at, because as you guys know, Kobe, you know, he signed with Nike, and although he's no longer a part of Adidas, they continue to release, you know, retro silhouettes, but no longer have the Kobe title affiliated with them. So could this be a future sign of what we can expect for the post-Ye Adidas Yeezy releases? You know, like maybe they'll throw in like some snakeskin on some Yeezys, maybe some rainbow colors or something. The future is definitely looking very bright for Adidas Yeezy. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these moves from Adidas. So we're gonna wrap it up. Get in the comments, give me your feedback. Salute to everybody for tuning in. I'm JA, make sure y'all stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all. Love.